Welcome to Chats with Changemakers, the Northeast podcast for people who want to make the world a better place. Hello, and welcome to Chats with Changemakers. I'm your host, Kate Duffy. This series has been generously sponsored by the Social Enterprise Academy, who champion leadership and learning for people driving social change. So be sure to check out the links in the show notes for both accredited and non-accredited opportunities in your area. In this episode, Samantha Castro shares her journey from being a film enthusiast to founder of the Newcastle Film Club, a social enterprise for Northeast creators to come together and create content that they're really passionate about. So let's hear from Sam. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, Kate. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast today.
No problem. I'm really, really excited to be talking to you and finding more about Newcastle Film Club. So tell us, let's go right back to the beginning. Where did your love of film come from? Because that's such a specific hobby or love, isn't it? Like, where did that come from?
It really, really is. And it really stems from, in the DVD era, when you could grab a DVD and as soon as you're finished watching the DVD, at least I did, I went straight to the bonus features because I wanted to see how it was made and kind of all the behind the scenes magic of everything. So I absolutely grew up watching the bonus features on DVD. And then it was round about sophomore year of high school. As you can tell by my accent, I'm not originally from here. I grew up in Texas, but I married a Geordie man, so now I live here in the northeast of England.
Honorary Geordie.
Very Geordie. There's probably some words that I'm going to say today that you're going to be like, oh, that's an interesting way to say that. But it was round about sophomore year in high school where I actually realized that all the bonus features that I had been watching, that those were actual proper jobs and that people could do film and television. And I had a great teacher who, I did a documentary as an assignment in her class. And it was about John Lasseter, who was the creator of Toy Story, which again was an animated film that I absolutely loved. And so I did a whole documentary about him, how he made Toy Story. And she saw the excitement and the enthusiasm that I had for editing and telling stories. And she's like, you could do this. And so she really crafted that kind of spark to then lead me to do more of film and television. And then I went on to university, discovered that I absolutely love doing documentaries, talking to people, doing producing, which is, I label myself as a producer, but I also love to edit. So being within the community at university was where I first experienced a film club that a friend of mine had set up as part of the university kind of campus, because he was very much looking for a way to express his creativity using university resources, but instead of just going through the model of I'm just going to do my assignments and that's it, he wanted to do more. He wanted to do short films and kind of build up more of his portfolio. So he started a film club on campus, which eventually ended up inspiring the film club that I've kind of made here within the States. But it all stems, to go back to your question, it all stemmed from DVD behind the scenes and just realizing that there's a whole industry out there of people making entertainment in film, television, radio, you name it.
How brilliant, though, that you made that connection. Because I grew up in a very sort of rural area. And I don't think, when you think back to the careers advisors and all that kind of stuff, I don't think I had a clue as to all of the amazing jobs that you could possibly do. I didn't know my job now existed that I'm currently doing. So how brilliant that you were able to make that connection of, I really love this and people get paid to do this. I could take that forward.
Absolutely. And I also think it goes to who you surround yourself with as well, too. When you see other people that are doing it or encouraging you to get out there and use your creativity and having that creativity then become a career or, dipping your toes into it. It's that support system that I was very lucky to have that I know everybody doesn't have, but hopefully with organizations like ours, you can find the people that, that are lifting you up and encouraging you to keep going and to keep making things regardless of, whether you have the funding or not to. It's just getting out and actually going and making stuff is what the film club is all about, but also just what I love to do as well, too.
Yeah. So tell us more then about that. So Newcastle Film Club is a limited by guarantee company. So it's social enterprise, not for profit. What is it? What do you do within the Newcastle Film Club?
So the way that I describe the Newcastle Film Club is we're a community filmmaking group based here in the Northeast, serving people within Newcastle and the surrounding areas, helping them to collaborate, create, and repeat. And the way that we do that is through workshops, going over different filmmaking techniques. We do that through guest speaking. So we bring people who are in the industry within the Northeast coming in to talk about their careers, how they've gotten to where they've gotten, advice for filmmakers that are looking to follow in their footsteps. We also do that through networking events, so people can come regularly to network with one another, talk about their own projects, what they have on the go, asking for help finding cast, crew. We have a community kit library that we've started, which has like filmmaking equipment, because that's one of the things people always say is like, oh, I don't have the like equipment, or I don't know people, or I don't have the resources. And Film Club really is to be that space that breaks down all of those barriers so that you can just get out there and actually start creating within your area and getting those ideas, whether that be documentary, whether that be short film, whether that be commercials, or whatever it is that you want to create. We're here to help facilitate and give you that encouragement, resources. Yeah, that kind of push to just go out and do it, and to say, no. There's no excuses here. Like, we've got you. So
That's so
that's kind of
cool.
who Film Club is.
And I've seen firsthand in the Changemakers community that someone was in need of a particular type of camera and was asking, and yeah, people being able to get in touch with you guys. That's fab. Tell me a
Absolutely.
little bit more then about the business model. Like, how does this work? Is it that can people pay for you to come and make films? So I'm thinking like Junction Point, could you make us a beautiful film, or how do you guys fund yourselves?
Absolutely. So the film club, like I would say, the year of 2025 was a big transition year for us. So we started as a constituted community group back in 2020. And the reason that the group started and that I founded the group was because I was brand new to the Northeast, and everywhere that I had gone, there had been some type of film club, filmmaking collective, some type of group that was going out and making films together, building upon their skills, skill sharing, sharing equipment, that kind of stuff, everywhere that I had lived before coming here to the Northeast. And so when I got here in 2019, I was like, right, where's my filmmaking group? Where are the people that are going out and making things? And when I couldn't find that, I then was like, okay, great. Well, I'm going to talk to the people who had made film collectives and film clubs in the past, learn from them, and then go and start my own film club. 2020 was the best year to start something in person, not. So we kind of went on a hiatus once COVID kicked in for about a year and a half. But then we came back and did a 48-hour film race for the Royal Television Society, that we ended up getting an award nominated for the film that we made together as our first film as a club. So like from there, the idea kind of stuck of like, great, this is something that's needed. People keep coming to meetings, people keep engaging with the events and activities that we put on. So from 2020 to 2025, we were a constituted community group. And then, as things grow, as we want to get more ambitious, as we want to do more projects, we realized that model wasn't going to serve what we were wanting to do in the future in terms of developing more of our intellectual property as a film club, being able to run bigger and better challenges, being able to support more people. So we switched to a company limited by guarantee in order to support doing more paid work through the actual club. So our business model hinges on doing video production work for other social enterprises, community groups, commercial organizations that are needing videos within their organization. They can come to us and say, hey, we need this video, these testimonials, we need this social media. Our model also allows me to go out into organizations and teach people how to do social media or video marketing, because that's kind of where my background is as well. I come from commercial, corporate, but also a little bit within the TV, radio, film. I've had a very eclectic career doing everything. I think
All
that's
helps,
just
doesn't it?
it's the way that creativity flows for me. It's just I kind of like to dip in and out of different things. I've done podcasting before with some people that we know together. But yeah, I think for us as a business, it's still quite new, and we're still kind of finding our feet in terms of how we're generating income. But so that's one side, is the video production side of our business. The other side is we do have a membership. So everything that we do at the film club is free for people to attend. Our meetings are free, our events are free. Our challenges that we run, because we run film challenges, are free to people participate in. However, if you get a membership, you get access to our filmmaking community kit library. We have relationships with film festivals in the region, so you get discounts to film festivals. So once you create a film with the resources that you have at the film club, you can submit it to the film festival at a discount. We've also got, relationships with studios in the area that give discounts to members of the film club to use their resources as well. So like your membership goes to supporting the organization, which really covers our running costs as an organization to do events and hire out places and things like that. But it also just goes to making sure that we can provide the services that everybody else gets to utilize for free. So that's another part of the business model. And I feel like I'm probably forgetting. Oh, and the community kit library as well. If you're not a member, it's paying. Like you can like just rent out certain types of equipment for a set amount for however many days that you need. But if you're a member, you get access to that at a very, very reduced rate. So the community kit library is another way that we kind of generate income into the club and the organization. So we've got 3 strands, as well as the occasional merch that I love to create because I'm a very crafty person. I've got a Newcastle Film Club mug at the moment.
Nice.
That one of the ones that didn't quite make it enough quality for myself, but yes, so a little bit of merch as well too in there that we use to keep the
Brilliant.
business going.
And who's like your target audience? Is it any resident of Newcastle or is it broader than that?
I would say it's much broader than that. We have people that come from all parts of Newcastle, but we have people that come from Sunderland. We have people come all the way from Middlesbrough. Those people from Northumberland, the Morpeth area that come down to support. Yes, although we're called Newcastle Film Club, that's really because we meet in Newcastle, but we really do serve so many people in the surrounding area. And a lot of our members are kind of aged university level all the way up to retirees. So like the cross generational collaboration that we have within the club is so important to the work that we do. And I think it's a really big boon that we have as an organization, that we're not really focused on young people specifically, although we do have lots of young people that do come to our meetings and are involved. But it's really is kind of for like maybe the older kind of creatives that maybe have kind of left filmmaking on the back burner because they had to kind of pursue a career that was a little bit more stable, but they still have that love for creativity or something like that. Or people like myself that are working within the industry that just want to create their own stuff on the weekends and kind of have that spark of creativity while they're doing other things within the industry as well. So there's a mixture of
Yeah.
people who we serve.
Tell me then a little bit more about the journey for you of setting up this organisation. Because by the sounds of it, it's not been a straight road in terms of COVID and then a change of legal structure, all of that kind of stuff. Are there any big lessons that you've found along the way that you could share with us?
I think some of the biggest lessons have just come from hearing, well, one, figuring out what your capacity is as an organization to do. I'm a very go-getter person. I love to like just go, go, go. But actually, what I found specifically in the last year, as we've kind of changed legal structures, is really having a narrow focus on what we want to do has made a massive difference to how we operate as an organization. It's great when you have such an engaged community and everybody has ideas to bring together, but as a leader of an organization where your community is key to kind of who you serve, knowing which ideas to pursue and which ideas to kind of hold on the back burner for the moment has been a really big like learning lesson for us. We do a film every single year. We didn't do a film in 2025 only because we were kind of finishing up the films that we had done in previous years together. But I think that was a big lesson in terms of we need to show people that we actually finish the things that we start as a club and as a community, because we can be doing film challenges, which we generally do film challenges about every 3 months. We host a new film challenge for people to get involved, to go out and create. And that's something like go out and make a short film, 3 minutes or less, but only using your phone, or use a film but don't have any dialogue inside the film. Like so there's like these different challenges that we do to really get people's creativity flowing so that they can express themselves, but have restrictions and most importantly a deadline to
Yes.
do that with. But running that as well as doing a big community film where people can pitch their idea and then say, well, this is like, and everybody can get behind one idea throughout that entire day, or sorry, that entire kind of year. We didn't have that in 2025, and that's because we really wanted to finish the films that were currently in the pipeline. And so knowing when to press pause on something because you need to put your attention to something else is a really big lesson that I think that I've learned, at least over the past year and a bit. Yeah, I think it is kind of asking other people who have kind of done the journey before, kind of their thoughts and feedback. I've gotten amazing advice from other people within the Changemakers community, and when it comes to like accounting and figuring out how our legal structure should be. We have other organizations that we regularly work with throughout the Northeast that are doing similar things to what the film club is doing, and actually have been kind of sparked out of what the film club has done. So we were like working regularly with other organizations who are on a very similar path to us has also been a huge like learning moment and journey that we're still on throughout the kind of making of the club and all that stuff. I hope I answered that answer correctly.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I think you're right. The challenge I think for lots of organizations at that startup point is that you can do loads of things, and it's kind of the point, isn't it? It's the exploring what works and being able to just be really creative and take all of those opportunities. But then at some point you do have to start thinking almost with that business headspace of like, right, how do we actually make all of this work now? Which things are serving us really well? What things are our audiences responding well to as well? And how do we make that work and get quite focused on our path forwards? So yeah, absolutely. And I completely agree. I think connecting with like-minded people who have trodden the boards before you is always a really good shout. And even if you are talking to someone that's from Plymouth or, from geographically really far away so that there's no concern of duplication or anything like that, it still helps, to talk to somebody, even if it isn't your next door neighbour. But I love the fact that
Absolutely.
you've reached out to local organisations to have that conversation as well.
Absolutely, because why not? Why not pull on the amazing resources and the networks that are here and people that have already figured things out beforehand, you know? So yeah, I'm a big believer of asking for help. Although I'm trying to get better as well.
Yes, it's a good balance, isn't it? So what's in future for Newcastle Film Club? Where are you guys going?
Ooh, that's a great question. So, where are we going for Newcastle Film Club? I think where we're heading is more in line with like developing the business arm of the organization is a big draw. We were part of the Creative UK Create Growth program
Oh,
over
cool.
the at the end of 2025. So, I think when it comes to kind of implementing some of the things that we learned while going through that program is kind of like what's on the horizon for us, but really developing the business arm, doing more stuff like within the Newcastle Film Club IP side of things. So we're currently, as of recording this, we're currently in the middle of a challenge within the film club, which is called the Feature Short Film Challenge, where we're challenging our community to create short films within a specific universe. So in this universe, the internet has been turned off because it has
Oh,
gotten too crazy. So it has been turned off and it is about to come back on. So the short films are kind of written within a month time span of the internet coming back to life. Will people agree with it coming back on? Will they not agree with it? How has life changed since it's been off? So that's going to be put together into a feature film that we're looking to then distribute and kind of like bring more of the conversation around how does, the internet actually, as creatives, how does that affect how we look at the world and how we interact with things as well. So there's a bit of a wider conversation that we'll be having surrounding that once that challenge finishes. But I think in general, what we want to do as an organization is just continue to grow, continue to uplift and support filmmakers and creatives within the region at a grassroots level, because we have amazing organizations like Northeast Screen and other CICs and social enterprises targeting different areas of creativity in film and media throughout the region. So I think what we bring and what we will look to bring in the future is that continuation of collaboration between people at different ages and different skill levels to just go out and make the things that they want to make and not waiting for that. "Oh, no, you don't have the right budget or you don't have the right contacts," just going out and making it and iterating on ideas and giving them the encouragement to do that. So yeah, so growing the business, growing our outreach in terms of who we're supporting, and I want to add a third thing, but a third thing's not coming to me right now. So just those two. Again, focus. Going back to focus.
perfect. And we always finish our chats with an opportunity for you to talk directly to the audience. So is there anything that we can be doing to support you in your mission, to support in the film club? Or like, what can we do to help you?
The biggest thing I would say to anybody who's listening right now is to watch people's films when they are shared online, to look at people's GoFundMe for the short films that they're creating. For us as an organization, if we do a crowdfunder, to go and give a few quid if you can, because every penny as a grassroots organization adds up, especially when you're working within the film and TV industry, where you have to get people places, you have to feed people while on set. Like, there's lots of moving parts around it that, every little bit does go to make a difference. So supporting any kind of grassroots filmmaker or creative that you see that's sharing their work, by watching, by commenting, by telling them what you enjoyed out of their film, by giving them constructive feedback of what you liked, what you didn't really get, is really important for anybody's creative journey. So doing that for us as an organization, you're more than welcome. We have a complete YouTube channel of playlists from past challenges where you can see all of the amazing work our community has done. And you can go check out our website, which is newcastlefilmclub.co.uk, to get involved. If anything that I've said here has been, oh, I would really love to do a challenge, or I'd really love to get in touch with more actors or more crew members or whatever, check out our website for upcoming events that we're hosting, and pop along to a film club. We always say, just come along to our first few meetings, check out the vibe, see how you like it, before wanting to, grab a membership or dive deeper, because like, just coming along is free and will always be free to do. So yeah, that's kind of what I would say to everybody.
Well, thank you ever so much for your time, Samantha. I can't wait to see how the film club continues to develop, and we'll be sharing all of your links. So if anyone would like to connect with Samantha, you can do so using those links. But for now, thank you very much, Samantha.
Thank you so much for having me, Kate. It's been lovely to chat.
The Newcastle Film Club has certainly been on a journey since its inception in 2020 to now, as a membership, a community, and a professional production company. I love the fact that members of the community feature in every part of those company activities too. So often when a professional opportunity arises, it's the members that are called upon to be part of that paid work. So it's a true community with creativity at its heart. I absolutely love that. I think my biggest takeaway from Samantha's talk was the different chapters of her journey. So going from being a film enthusiast to cutting her teeth in the industry, and then creating this community of like-minded people to just really tap back into that passion that she's always had. And along the way, she's been supported by peers and mentors to guide her next moves. And she's actively sought out those voices. And I think it's something that sometimes we can be almost embarrassed to do, where we're admitting that we're not quite sure about something or exploring different ways. Whereas actually, it's actually really lovely to receive those calls and those emails of people asking, how do you do this? And could we do something together? So I love that Sam has had that approach. I think that this is one of the key success points for Samantha as well, that the Newcastle Film Club has a really solid business model now, with the right balance of creativity, connection, and sustainability. And that's been created over a period of time. It's something that's been developed with the community that she serves and with practitioners and experts in the field that she works. So I can't wait to see what the next few years is going to have in store for them. So don't forget to connect with Samantha. So do go check out her links. You can also subscribe to Chats with Changemakers for more brilliant interviews like this one. And don't forget to join our free Northeast Changemakers community to connect with more people like Sam. A huge thank you to our Social Enterprise Academy sponsors for this particular series and for their ongoing commitment to helping people grow the skills and the confidence to create real change. Catch you next time. If you've been inspired by what you've heard today, come and join our free Northeast Changemakers community to meet like-minded people and start your journey to changing the world.